It's another victory for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. 6 points in the bag, 4 goals scored, and we've qualified for the second round of the next round of the African Nations Cup 2021. Congratulations once again, Nigerians. Congratulations, Super Eagles. Well done. Nigeria 3, Sudan 1. A lot of talking points from that game, from the coaching crew. Moses Simon again. Samuel Chukwueze. We're going to talk about Olaino's penalty. Olaino conceded. We'll talk about the Super Eagles midfield. Something about that midfield. We'll talk about Sadiq Kumar. We'll talk about Alex Iwobi and Kelechi Nwakali and lots of others. So let's dive straight into it. Austin Eguavon has done a remarkable job with the Super Eagles. There's a new spirit in the team. We've seen a Super Eagles team that is fighting for every ball, for the first and second ball. They're just going for it. It's very, very impressive to see a Super Eagles team that we are actually really proud of. Apart from the victories, the performances have been remarkable. They've been really, really I am so excited about the performance of the Super Eagles. This has not been the case in a very, very long time. So kudos to the Eagles. Kudos to the Super Eagles coaching crew led by Austin Eguavon. And this is not to take credit from Austin Eguavon, but I see the handwork, I see the influence of Yusuf Salisu on that team. He is one of the best we have around, and I see imprints of his work on that team. Eguavon is the leader, but I see a lot of Yusuf Salisu in that team. So kudos to him. We'll talk about Moses Simon. Moses Simon was, I think, the man of the match for the second game running, and that says a lot about his influence, his input in this tournament, in this team. He scored a goal. He got a second goal in the tournament. He also assisted Samuel Chukwueze's first goal in a very, very impressive all-round display, and that goes to show a lot about Moses Simon's character. It's not always about playing in the best club. It's not always about playing in the best team. It's about being able to deliver in the national team during national assignments. I'm going to go back to that point later on this analysis. Samuel Chukwueze is still, for me, still on the road to recovery. He is not exactly the same player we used to know. He's not delivering like we used to know him. There's no penetrative runs. There's been more of backward passes, no penetration at all coming from the right side, and he's been duly taken off in the 2 games for Alex Iwobi, whom I feel should start ahead of Samuel Chukwueze. No sentiment. Iwobi has had a poor run of form in Everton. He's not been getting a lot of games, and so his form has really dipped. But everyone can see that Iwobi brings a lot more incision, a lot more penetration in the few minutes he has had in the 2 games, in the Nations Cup so far. So I feel it's about time Iwobi gets to start ahead of Samuel Chukwueze. And this is not to say Samuel Chukwueze is not a good player, is not the player he used to be, but he's had a long injury layoff. He's still getting back to his best. I don't think he should be starting for the Super Eagles, but I know he will get back to his best really, really soon for this team. Painful as it may be, we could not keep a clean sheet because of Olaino's foul on the Sudanese, and we conceded a penalty, and it was duly dispatched. That is a very, very instructive point. All right. Now, it's a warning sign that this team should stay focused. It's a warning sign that this team should stay focused. Right. 3 goals to the good. That game was done and dusted. We could have had as much as 5 or 6. But it goes to tell us that there's a need to stay focused, to concentrate for every single minute of the game. As the tournament gets further, as we go deeper into the tournament, the games are going to be more difficult. You're going to face tougher sides, stronger sides. So if you can't keep a clean sheet against the Sudanese, then you have Morocco up ahead. You have Senegal up ahead. Probably if you get to meet those teams, Senegal, Morocco, Algeria, Ghana. There's a lot of stronger teams coming up. So if we cannot keep a clean sheet, if we cannot concentrate for 90 minutes, these mistakes are normal. Mistakes happen in the game, but some mistakes could be very fatal. Some mistakes could cost you an entire game. So the Super Eagles should endeavor not to get carried away, because as we progress in the tournament, it's going to get tougher. So we need to watch that. That is a warning bell. That's a warning sign for the team. Stay focused, concentrate for 90 minutes. Don't get carried away. Even if you've scored 4 goals, do not get carried away. So stay focused, and get the victory, get it done and dusted for 90 minutes or more. Now, the midfield has been great. Wilfred Ndidi has been majestic. Like I said in the previous video, he's been majestic. Joe Aribo too has been a wonderful sidekick to Wilfred Ndidi. But however, this midfield is not entirely convincing. A lot of people might not agree with this, but this is the truth. The Super Eagles midfield is not totally convincing because it doesn't have the dominance expected of a midfield. It does not have the control a midfield should have. Now, defensively, it's strong enough because you see Aribo tracking back, you see Ndidi, doing what he knows how to do best. The marking, but offensively, the midfield is not doing enough. That's all I'm trying to say. And so against a stronger side, against a better side, this team might struggle in the midfield. Okay, so it still lacks that bit of creativity going forward, and that's a concern for me. There's too many backwards passes. All right, so they try to advance, and then once they're closed down, there's a lot of backward passes. We need to see more passing in between the lines. We need to see more creativity. We need to see more take-ons. We need to see more risks being taken. And between Joe Aribo and Ndidi, we don't have exactly those players between the both of them. Now, on the contrary, I would say that Alex Iwobi and Kelechi Nwakali bring more bite to the midfield. This is one of the take-homes I've seen from the game against Sudan. Alex Iwobi, yes, they came in for a few minutes. Yes, they came in when the game was already taken, but it doesn't take away their individual abilities on the ball. Kelechi Nwakali has exhibited that we can have that control in the midfield that Joe Aribo does not offer that team. All right, so we need to. I think that we're going to have more control, more incision, more penetration, more passing through the lines. With a player like Kelechi Nwakali, a player like Alex Iwobi, because from the last few minutes of that game, we saw Nwakali do that. We saw Alex Iwobi do that, and that's what we need as we progress in this tournament. They are far more better. Those two guys are far more better at linking the midfield and the attack than Joe Aribo has been, and that's my opinion. I don't know what you think. So share your own views in the comment section below. But I feel Kelechi Nwakali gives us a bit more control, gives us a bit more penetration, gives us a bit more incision, and a bit more forward passing. From the midfield, they link the midfield more with the attack than Joe Aribo has been able to do so far in this tournament. And that's not to take anything away from his game. They have stayed compact. They've stayed, they've worked together, and they've kept that midfield solid. But you need to be more incisive. Every attack has simply come from the flanks. Everything has come from the flanks, from set pieces. We've not seen a lot from the middle. We've not seen a lot of creative play from the midfield. Playing the man through, playing the striker through. I think we need more of that cover, and we need that from the midfield. That has not been there. Taiwo Awoniyi got his first goal for the Super Eagles. Congratulations, Awoniyi. He didn't really know a lot about that goal, but it's a goal all the same. I like his work rate. He has an amazing work rate. He has tremendous dedication to the game. And that's what happens when that people breathing down your neck. He knows too well that there's still Victor Osimhen there. So this is his opportunity. He's taking it. That's what I expect to see in the Super Eagles. That competition. That's what I expect to see. That dedication, that commitment, to excel. And that's what's going to keep this team going if we keep it the way it is. I have always said that club form is not sufficient. And a lot of players have expressed that in this tournament. Your club form should not be the only yardstick for invitation of Super Eagles, for playing players in the Super Eagles. Now, just like I said with the inclusion of Leon Balogun, I did not want Leon Balogun in the team, right? Same thing goes for Sadiq Umar. I'm not singling him out. I'm not picking on him, but the reality is Sadiq Umar has had a tremendous season in Almeria. He's been excellent. But your club form does not determine who you are as a player. Now, you may excel at club level, But in the national team, it's a different ballgame. We used to have a player, Obina Sofo. Obina Sofo did not have the best of club careers. But in the Super Eagles, you cannot fault Obina Sofo. He was easily one of the best every time he wore the green shirt and stepped on the pitch. So Sadiq Omar, for me, he has been imperious rather at Almeria, but it doesn't make him a better option for the Super Eagles than say Isaac Success. A lot of people are going to argue about this, but I'll say it any day, anytime. I would have preferred to have Isaac Success in this team because he possesses more strength, more aggression, and more skill. Now he has had a bad time in his career, obviously for his own carelessness, mistakes he has made, his career and his club career. But I suppose he's now finding his way back. He's now with Udinese in Italy, and he's getting back, amongst the goals, getting back, getting his groove back in Italy. I feel, given his talent, given his natural abilities, he's a fighter, he's aggressive, he's strong, and he gets the goals when opportunities come. I feel strongly Isaac Success should have been in this team with the withdrawals of Victor Osimhen and the rest, and Emmanuel Dennis. I would have picked Isaac Success ahead of Sadiq Umar. And this is nothing against Sadiq Umar, but he's simply not good enough. He's simply too frail. Okay, he's simply too frail for the African Nations Cup. He's had just a few minutes, yes, but we can see that Awoni is stronger, and that shows. Victor Osimhen is stronger, and it will show. Sadiq Umar is a little bit too frail, a bit too lanky to stand the aggression. Paulo Nacho, probably is taller, is the player in that mode. But you can see that Onachu is probably stronger and more skillful. So Onachu will probably take the hit, but I don't see Sadiq Umar as having been a good inclusion in this team just because he had a lot of goals for his club. It is not always the case. Now, we could see that the Nigerian team struggled with the physicality of the Sudanese, right, more than the finesse of the Egyptians, and that just says it all. Umar came on against the Egyptians and didn't look too out of place, but against the more aggressive and more physical Sudanese, he struggled. I am totally convinced that an Isaac Success in that role would do a lot better than what we have seen of Sadiq Umar in this tournament. Iwobi is another who proves this theory. He's had like I said earlier, he's had a bad run of form in Everton. He's not getting games. But the moment he steps on the pitch, the moment you see him in the Super Eagles green, it's a different player altogether. He brings more incision, he brings more penetration, he brings more creativity than Chukwueze, for instance. I mean, and we know Chukwueze is just having, bad form. He's just coming back to form, so that's not it. But Iwobi the point here is that Iwobi is having a bad run of form in his club, but that's not showing in the national team in the few minutes he's had in the Super Eagles. So we should learn to not rely solely on a player's club form for invitation into the national team. The national team is a different ballgame. We have club players and we have national team players. There are players who will do everything in the national team and they may not be as great in their club. Okay, so let's this is the coaching crew. Let's try to have that at the back of our minds at all times. Overall, we've seen a really great job by the team. Maduka Okoye unfortunately could not keep the second clean sheet, but he did well. He did pretty well. I not consider the penalty. Well, it's okay. We've passed that now. We got the victory, and that's what's most important. Ekong's looked a little better. Chutekong looked a little better than against the Egyptians in the first game. Omero was in peril as well. Zaidu Sanusi had a bit more freedom, like we saw, because he wasn't detailed to close down Salah like he did in the first game. So you could see a lot of incursions going forward. Indeed, it was great. Aribo was wonderful once again. Like I said, in the midfield, too many backwards passes. We need more forward going passes. We need more passes through the lines to the attackers to feed them. On the left, Moses Simon was great. On the right, Samuel Chukwueze needs to be dropped for Alex Iwobi, in my opinion, till he can regain the form we know him for. Kelechi Iheanacho was great. He had a bit of a quiet game against the Sudanese than he had against the Egyptians. But overall, we know what Kelechi Iheanacho is capable of. Awoniyi has stood in well for Victor Osimhen. So kudos to the whole team. For the other players who came on as well, everybody has done very, very well. Everybody has done very, very impressively. So for the next game, we're playing Guinea-Bissau next. We've qualified, so I guess it's time to rest a few players. Indeed, it could be given a rest. Ian Acho, Aribo, Moses Simon, Olaino, for all the work. They should be given some rest in the last group game. So it's time for Frank Onyeka to, get on the pitch to start games. JK, Henry Onyekuru, Iwobi should start. Kelechi Nwakali should start. Let's see what options we have. Let's see what the options, the alternatives, bring to the table. You never know. Something I always believe in is sometimes you never know who is even better. Some of the players you have on the bench could even be better than the ones you're playing regularly. So let's see what the other guys, the second 11, has to offer as we look up to the game against Guinea-Bissau. So once again, congratulations, Nigerians. We'll see you again after the Guinea-Bissau game. But before you leave, please remember to subscribe right there. We'll see you again at the next game.